Hi, and welcome to Fabric Bias. It is November 2024 in the early part of the month, and this is the bag that I made today. So this is a super easy bag. It's inspired by Christine at Christine's Home Affairs, and I will put a link below to the video that she did. I took the bag that she did. It was super easy, super great pattern. Really great video, so I recommend that you do go watch it. And but as she was showing her bag, I kept looking at it going, wow, that you could make a really great gift bag out of that. I decided that's what I wanted to do. And so I changed the dimensions because I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be fun if I made it to put the sew together bag in that I've been sewing. I'm not going to go back and make 23 of these. I wanted to see if I could make it work. So I changed the dimensions. I did make a couple mistakes and I changed a couple things about how I sewed it. The first thing I did was I went with a 20-inch by a 10.5-inch piece of fabric because I was being really cautious. This is my prototype here. I was being really cautious that I wanted to make sure it fit in there. And I don't know what I was thinking. I went way overboard on the height. I do like the roominess of the width of it because it just gives more flexibility. I don't want this to be a single-use bag. Like the only thing you can do is, use it for that. So I did want it to have a little bit more play in it, and I did get that in the width, but I got way too much in the length. So I think the next one I sew, I will probably cut either 10, because I do have plenty of play here, and I like 10s even. 10 by 16 or 10 by 17. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do on the next prototype. Probably 17, just out of an abundance of caution, to make sure, because the goal is to get it to fit this particular bag, even though I'm probably not going to be using it that way. Or I might. We'll see. So the other thing I did was I changed how I box the corners. She goes with what I call the triangle method, where you box your corners after you've got it all sewn together. You make a triangle. I actually cut mine out first, so I call it the rectangular method, because you end up cutting like a square out of the corner or a rectangle out of the corner, depending on how you do it. And that's just a preference on it. So I did change that. I also changed on hers. She had cord to use. I didn't have any, so I had to sew my own drawstring here. And so I ended up I decided I would use 1.5-inch wide or high fabric by the width of the fabric, and just cut it in half. And that gave me a short drawstring. And so she actually used double the length of what I did, and she used 2 pieces of that. And what that gives her is, you can take your drawstring, you feed it in from one side, then you wrap it around through the other side, and it comes out the back side and comes out the same side that you started on. And then you take your second string and you go to the opposite side and you feed it in, wrap it around, and you bring it back out on that. And the difference is, on hers you can go like this and the thing will draw close. On mine you have to hold it and you can go like this and like this to get it to draw close. So it depends on how you want to do it. It's just kind of a preference thing also. I do really like the idea to be able to pull it the way that she's got her set up. This is nice if you're running low on fabric or material to use as a drawstring. It only takes a width, 1.5 inches. I happen to have plenty of fabric, so I actually have the option. I would just cut 2 pieces, 1.5 inch by width of fabric, and make 2 drawstrings. On that, it's a little bit more sewing. It's pretty easy. So either way works. I don't know on my next prototype which way I'm going to go. If I'm going to go the singular way like this, there's still actually 2 pieces here, or make it extra, 2 long extra pieces here. Haven't decided. So, because I think both are nice. The other thing I changed was when she did hers, and I'll tell you why I did it. She actually, on her lining, she did her turning gap on the side here. And I opted to change my turning gap, instead of being on the inside, on the lining, I actually put it in the top here because it kind of hides itself nicely. Sorry, my dog, someone's home, I think. And so I put the turning gap here, and you can kind of see it's right here on that. But you don't notice it, and you can get it lined up really nicely, and then you don't have that kind of a pinched up seam, or you don't have to stitch it with like a ladder stitch to get it close. And the reason I did that was because I made this one reversible. I did make a mistake when making it reversible. Usually when I match up my lining fabric, or my 2 pieces of fabric, the lining to the exterior, however you're going to do it, you want to call it, I push on one piece of fabric, I push the seam one way, the other I push it the other way, and then I match those 2 seams up. I hope that makes sense. Instead of actually taking the seam, each one, and pressing it open and then matching at the lining, I just butt them up to each other. But if in the case of this bag, if you actually press open the seam, then you get an actual nice hole that goes from one side to the other on that. And the reason that's important is because you have to change this cord from here to here and pull it through if you're going to reverse it. And here, what I do, I have to kind of work it out and push fabric aside and get it in there. It's still doable, and it still works. It's just a little bit more bulky. So that was kind of the mistake that I made there, but on the next prototype, I'll fix that on that. So let me show you this. I take this, I can reverse it by taking, and the way you sew, the only difference there besides putting my turning up here, which was a preference, is you sew the lining and the exterior pieces exactly the same. You're making sure you leave a little hole here. And you have to make sure that you're measuring really nicely because the hole has to match up on each piece of fabric as well. So to get it through, all you have to do is peek through that little hole, grab your cord, and pull it through. Like that. And on both sides, you pull it through. There it is here. There it is. Ta-da! Strings are in. Reach in. Flip it around to now. This will be the right side out. And ta-da! There you go. And you have a reversible bag. Like that. So that was fun. That was kind of the goal. When I saw it, I thought, when I saw her video, I thought, I wonder if you can make that reversible. And you can. So there it is. And ta-da, there it is. I hope you like it. I hope that wherever and whenever you're at, you're having a great time. And thanks for watching.